host of the Gridiron.
Giants to get secondary help from St. Fran. There's a couple guys, once again, another article got written, right, pointing out that the two guys from San Francisco would be good fits for the New York Football Giants. That's true. You know, one of them is a cornerback, another guy's a safety. Okay, and if the Giants wind up losing Pinnock, right, and we got Charvarius Ward, right, we got Belton, but we got Nubin. We got to pair Nubin with somebody. Now we could draft somebody, draft the safety, right, to go with Nubin. We can bring somebody in, a free agent, right, one of these, especially if we want to lose a Pinnock. So that's going to be interesting to see. But a couple articles here talking about, one guy here, right? Hufanga. Talanoa Hufanga. I'm sure I said that wrong. Please forgive me. I am a moron. Could Hufanga be the playmaking safety the Giants need in 2025? As the 2025 NFL free agency period approaches, one name to keep an eye on is Hufanga, the all-pro safety from the 49ers. Hufanga, who will be an unrestricted free agent when the new league year begins on March 12th. Expected to be one of the most sought-after defensive players available. Pro Football Focus recently ranked him as the 23rd best free agent. Okay. With the Giants considered the best landing spot. PFF says, after battling injuries over the past 2 seasons, Hufanga's performance had dipped, culminating in a career-low 57.8 overall grade in 2024. But just at 26 years old, however, the safety still has time to regain his form and showcase his playmaking ability. Giants looking to stabilize their secondary recently hired former Jets safeties coach Manuel, who has had success with single high defensive schemes, something the Giants may hope to emulate with Hufanga. The 5th round pick in the 2021 NFL draft, Hufanga quickly made a name for himself as one of the most dynamic safeties in the league. He earned an all-pro selection in 2022. He has 7 interceptions and 14 passes defense in his 4-year career. However, he's battled injuries the past 2 years. Something the Giants don't want. He missed 9 games with a wrist injury in 2024 and played 10 games in 2023 before suffering a torn ACL. For the Giants, Hufanga represents an intriguing option to help stabilize their secondary. The addition of a versatile safety like Hufanga to pair with Tyler Nubin could be a major boost. While Hufanga's injury history may be a concern, his potential for a bounce-back year could make him a bargain for a team willing to take a chance. For the Giants, who are looking for playmaking talent in the secondary, Hufanga's ability to create turnovers and his leadership on the field can make him an excellent fit. So, I mean, yeah. There was a couple issues, right? One of them is, Hufanga with his injury history. And we're going to go over the other guy in just a second here. But this past season, Hufanga, he played in weeks 3, he played in week 5, and then he missed a bunch of time. He played in week 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. But in the beginning of the season, he missed a bunch of time. Right? He missed a bunch of time in 2023, a bunch of time in 2024. 2022, okay, they had a really good team. That was the year that they lost in the championship game to the Eagles when they had all their quarterbacks got injured. Purdy got injured in the championship game, and they had McCaffrey back there, and they couldn't even throw a pass. And it was just an absolute mess. In 2022, he graded out a 72.1. 2023, before he got injured, he graded out a 70.5. Last season, he battled injuries. Also coming back from a torn ACL, okay, slows you down, right? how would I pronounce it? Thanks. But so possibly maybe this season, this past season, let's see what I say. Hufanga, he 57.8. His run defense was a 74.5, 66.3, and a 52.4 coverage grade. But I'm saying, he suffered his torn ACL in 2023. So you come back, you're never quite the same, right? Sometimes it takes you, to your second season to get back into, at top form, shall we say? Okay, but the thing is, as I read in that one article, he had a wrist injury, he missed time. He tore his ACL, he missed time. I mean, is this something the Giants want to bring in? To find the perfect free agent out there who's never got injured, who plays it, who grades out at a 70 or an 80 in PFF, who doesn't call it. There's not many guys out there like that. You know what I mean? But so we'll have to wait and see. The Giants, especially if they lose Pinnock, they probably would like to upgrade at safety. We got Nubin, right? But the other guys we got there, nothing super spectacular. So that's something to keep an eye on. But then there's the other guy that they're talking about here too. That would help the Giants out. Is in the secondary, but he's a little on the older side. Now, I don't know if the Giants want to, possible, but he's in his 30s, right? You got Charvarius Ward, all right, cornerback. Ward's overall body of work speaks for itself, as he has posted strong 80-plus grades in both 2022 and 2023, showcasing his reliability as a top-tier cornerback. Another one of those things, you just don't know what they're thinking as far as with Banks, right? Need veteran presence in the secondary. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Well, it was one thing that, they had a Dory Jackson, right? Don't know if they'll be bringing him back or not, but, you can always use, absolutely. Especially when you got a bunch of young, my goodness, we had Flott out there, right? We had Phillips out there, and we had Banks out there. Flott was, a third-year guy? Banks, a second-year guy? Phillips, a first-year guy? That's some young, it's always good to have, even if the veteran presence is on the sideline or something, it's good to have a veteran, absolutely. Oh, sure. Oh, absolutely. So the Giants secondary desperately needs reinforcements after finishing 26th in team coverage this past season. Defensive coordinator Shane Bowen's heavy use of cover 3, which is 35.6% of the time, which is 8th highest in 2024, right, aligns well with Ward's strengths. Over his career, Ward has allowed just 0.83 yards per coverage snap in cover 3, making him an ideal candidate to help revitalize New York's defensive backfield. So the thing is, what you don't know is, how sold, are the Giants on Banks? Do they think they bring Emmanuel in? There's a new, defensive backs coach, or and I think he's the passing game coordinator as well too. They just announced that. Do they think he'll be able to help Banks? Or maybe Henderson failed. I'll have to wait and see. But once again, you don't know what they're thinking. You do know that if Phillips is healthy, Phillips is he's on the field, no questions asked. This will be Flott's 4th season, I think, coming up, right? So he'll be on the team, but you're not sure what they think about Banks, right? They're not going to give up on him, obviously, but is he going to be able to be somewhat kind of fixed? Because you just don't want to. Well, he's kind of all right. He's doing pretty good. So I don't know. We'll line him up against Justin Jefferson and see what happens. No, There's 2 pass completions, you're giving up 14 points, and now you're down 14-0. That's not what you want to do. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, when you put somebody out there on the other team's number 1 wide receiver, right, you want to make sure you got somebody out there who can do the job, right? And with Ward, I got him out here. There we go. Okay. Now he is. I apologize. I thought he was in his 30s or 30. I thought he was 30. He's 28. So in May he'll be 29 in May. Okay. Let's see what we got there. Yeah, he did have a bad year this year. Let me see here. Looks like he missed a little bit of time, not too much. He missed some games in the middle of the year. But in 2023, graded at 84.7. 2022, graded out of 81. This year, graded out of 56.2. So he had a couple clunker games this year. He had a couple bad games against Buffalo. He had a bad game. Against Arizona, he had a bad game. Against the Rams, he had a bad game. So he had a couple bad games. But there was no doubt about it that 2023 and 2022, he had some really, really good years. But you just don't know, what they think of him, or Banks as well too, right? So the Giants could very well retain Banks. I'm sorry, the Giants could very well retain Pinnock, and they still have Dane Belton under contract. Right, and then you have obviously then you got Nubin, and we still have Charvarius Owens, and I'm sure we had somebody else on the roster who was a safety. So, but you have to wait and see. We don't know. We have so many spots. One of the things, obviously, is that how far back are the Giants? How many steps back are the Giants going to take? How many of their guys they're going to lose? Right. Now, for the most part, we're not really, we got, if you look at the roster, right, the starters, right, on defense, right, okay. Now, who's going to be next to Sexy Dexy? He knows, right? If we lose some, it's no big deal, but we got Kayvon, right, we got Burns, we got Sexy Dexy. The linebackers behind him, right, we got a Karake. We got McFadden, right? So, right? We got Banks, right? We got Phillips, we got Flott, right? We got safety. So we might lose, who's it? The other defensive tackle going to be? Is it going to be Nacho? Who knows? Are we going to lose Pinnock? Oh, maybe. Right? No huge loss. They said on the offensive line, on the offense, we might lose Slayton, right? We're not losing any quarterbacks because we don't have any, right? But we got running backs. We got we got our tight ends. The offensive line, I think they were saying Stinney might be a free agent, but he wasn't a starter. GVR, we could certainly maybe bring him back, but he's a free agent, and we might lose Slayton. But there's not a ton of guys we're losing, right? It's not like we're losing Dexter Lawrence. We're not losing Andrew Thomas. We're not. Oh my God, we're not losing. So we might lose a couple guys. So how much? We'll take a step back, and then how far forward can we go replacing these guys? As it's going, a lot of it's going to hinge on the quarterback, right? Because we're taking the quarterback early, Because if you're taking a quarterback early, number 3, well, then that would cancel out drafting one of those one of the defensive players, like Johnson, the cornerback, or Graham, the defensive tackle, or Carter. One of those guys you can just almost like plug and play, right? And then also, what are we going to do a quarterback as far as free agents? Are we going to go out and get a free agent, a bridge quarterback? Is there somebody we can get for $20 million? You're going to spend $30 million? You're going to spend $10 million? What are you going to do there? Because obviously, the more money you spend there, the less money you're going to have in free agency. So that's it. Man. So what the heck we got? We've got about 1 week left of January. February's only 4 weeks, right? So we got between January and February, we got 5 weeks, and you figure about 2 weeks or so. So and then be free agency. So we got about 7 weeks free agency. Wow, that's crazy. That's what I love about football, man, because there's like almost always something going on, right? And this season's not even over with yet, right? How crazy is that? All right, guys, been 1 hour and 45 minutes. Terrence, good talking to you, brother. I haven't talked to you in a while. Thanks for spending time with me, man. I greatly appreciate it. Great. So whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. If anybody's going to spend any time watching the replays, once again, thank you so much on the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.